our tail of the tape for this lightweight, and I love saying lightweight matchup between these two, 155.6 and 155.7. Both of these guys used to fight at featherweight. It used to kill them. Now they're going to be healthy and fighting well at 155.
This man is definitely no lightweight. He is a heavyweight on the microphone, Michael C. Williams.
Live on Showtime, Bellator MMA moves now to the lightweight division, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing first the blue corner. At 5'10", weighing in 155.7 pounds. His professional record, 14 wins, 4 losses. Fighting out of Deerfield Beach, Florida, he hails from Manchester, England, Saul, the Hangman Rogers. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 5'8", weighing in 155.6 pounds, the veteran brings 31 professional victories, 11 defeats, 1 draw by way of Moscow, Russia. He fights out of Riverside, California, Georgi, Insane Karakhanyan. And the referee in charge, Frank Trigg.
We are set. Georgi Karakhanyan, 9-9 in Bellator, 4 knockouts, 3 submissions. Saul Rogers, 2-2 with 1 sub-victory.
Fight!
The bell in round 1, lightweight action. Georgi Karakhanyan in the red gloves. Saul Rogers in the blue, double jab. Splitting the guard of Karakhanyan by Rogers early, again honing his striking skills with Henry Hooft in the Sunshine State. Overhand right just misses for Rogers. Left hook, right hand combination. Some sharp striking from Rogers early, John.
Absolutely, but you're also watch Georgi. He's trying to counter. He's trying to set up that timing. He's looking for the counter, so it's not like he's getting run over right now. He's just taking his time. Saul Rogers establishing a very good left jab.
And you know that jab is annoying Georgi Karakhanyan like autocorrect, as Karakhanyan looks to come correct as a glitch. Knee up the middle by Karakhanyan, and on the exit lands the right.
Georgi is known as a very strong fighter, but he's going to find out that Saul Rogers physically is going to be one of the strongest opponents he's ever been in the cage with. He just needs to be smart about not trying to overpower Saul. Use the technique that has gotten you so far.
I love the way Rogers is putting together his punches. Not necessarily going to the textbook 1-2. There's a stiff jab followed by the left hook by Rogers. Outside leg kick, and Rogers really bringing it to Karakhanyan. But like you said, John, Karakhanyan waiting for the counter, not really being damaged by the blows.
Oh, he's just taking his time, and this showing that, you know, he's a veteran in this sport. But right here, this is where Saul Rogers really starts to use that strength. He bullies everyone on the ground. Now the real question is, does he want to be on the ground with Georgi? Georgi's got great submissions, but I will say Saul Rogers' ground and pound, when he finally establishes it and gets going, it is vicious.
Rogers has great submissions as well, with 9 on his resume. Under 3 minutes left here in the opening stanza. Rogers being neutralized in the, well, now open guard, and Karakhanyan knows a thing or two about the, French Revolution's favorite submission, the guillotine.
He has got an outstanding guillotine, sets it up very well, actually gets his opponent to put their head in a place where it's not supposed to be, and all of a sudden, it's locked on and tight.
Rogers stacking Karakhanyan along the fence, dropping some long-range right hands, grazing the jaw, and going to the body and back upstairs.
Big, heavy shots, too. Those were not little arm punches, you know, body, head. Those are heavy. Look at the posture.
Mexican Independence Day weekend, and he went to the body like it was filled with candy, but now Karakhanyan looking to control Rogers' head. Coming up on the final 2 minutes of the first round, as we are involved in lightweight action. Almost had to say featherweight there for just a moment, even though both, you know, Karakhanyan has been here now. It's his 5th fight. And Rogers back, moving up to 155, coming off a submission loss to Mads Burnell. was involved in, well, both in the featherweight Grand Prix.
Sal Rogers was in the featherweight Grand Prix, so was Georgi, but again, losing a lot of weight, it actually put them in positions where they couldn't accept as much damage. They got hurt by shots that they normally wouldn't get hurt by.
The Grand Prix coronating A.J. McKee as the king. At 145, Patricio Pitbull still the king of 155. Rogers with the waistlock takedown tripod by Karakhanyan.
Nice return to the ground by Sal Rogers. Karakhanyan working to get himself up, but when you get taken right back down, it can become demoralizing. You just got to keep telling yourself, it's all right, just going to keep on working the position. Right now, Saul Rogers kind of mauling Georgi Karakhanyan. He's not really hurting him, but he's just all over him, and Georgi can't figure out the puzzle of getting free.
They both like to snatch the neck. For Rogers, 5 of his submission wins have come via rear naked choke. And of course, as we mentioned, Karakhanyan, he loves the guillotine with 6 guillotine wins. But right now he's being fed a diet of right hands from Rogers before wrist control by Karakhanyan momentarily.
Rogers doing a very good job of just systematically landing.
Oh, shoulder strike.
Beautiful shoulder strike right there. And normally when we talk about a shoulder strike, not a lot of damage, not a lot of heat to it. That one had a lot of power behind it.
And again, irritating, knocking you off rhythm momentarily, and Karakhanyan looking to ride out the rest of the round, controlling the head of Rogers, but Rogers in control in the opening 5. We are seeing marked improvement in Saul Rogers striking, thanks to what's going on in the Sunshine State with Sanford MMA.
Look, when you're talking about the basics of striking and what someone can learn, Henry Hooft is just fantastic. Dutch style of kickboxing.
Bell in round 2, and when you again are leaving your family back in your native UK, and he said he didn't want to disrespect his training partners in England, but he says there is levels to this game, and you get some of the best training at Sanford MMA. And well, Rogers outstriking Karakhanyan 18-7 in that opening round. And when it came to ground control, Major Tom, 2 minutes 36 seconds for Rogers, 0 for Karakhanyan. Rogers takes him down again.
He's going to be right back on it. Georgi went for the guillotine as far as looking for that neck, but he does not have it in this position. Nice job of wrapping up and figure four-ing the legs. He just let go of it. Georgi turned his back. You see Sal trying to get that hook. Now he's got it. That sets Georgi back a step.
And the back of his opponents are the canvas in which Rogers is very adroit again. Majority of his submissions via the rear naked choke, but Karakhanyan shelling up, but being nailed with those right hands underneath.
Nice job of dropping back down by Sal.
Levels.
Look where his head's at. Head is high. That means he's going to win the position and get him where he wants. He would like to get Georgi's back off of the cage, though. He wants to swing those hips to one side or the other.
Rogers said he didn't want to toot his own horn, and then tooted it by saying he's better in every department against Georgi Karakhanyan. Of course, Karakhanyan in every, you know, that's what you're supposed to say.
You gotta believe that, so there's nothing wrong with him saying it. Georgi believes he's better in every category, and that's fine.
But don't you also need to be honest with yourself and realize where there are certain areas that you probably need to work on? Because every fighter has his certain flavor.
You absolutely need to work on every area of MMA. But right now, what Sal Rogers is showing is when he would, at this point in the fight as a featherweight, slow down and control instead of damage, he's going after damaging Georgi Karakhanyan, and that's a big difference in the fight.
Appreciate the work to the body by Saul Rogers, battering Georgi Karakhanyan and draining him of the all-important energy as he is forced to carry Saul Rogers on his back, and Rogers continuing to try to set up the rear naked choke with these right hands.
He is, and eventually, you know, if he continues on with what you're seeing and is able to do damage, it's going to slow Georgi down to where he makes a mistake, and that neck will become available.
Dan Henderson, Fedor Emelianenko with those right hands underneath the armpit, and there's Karakhanyan, desperate move, going for the guillotine choke.
This is what we talked about with Georgi Karakhanyan. He will get a hold of that neck very good with that guillotine.
Oh, no. Switch knee.
Georgi kind of,
Hey,
he put a big dent in that gas tank.
Karakhanyan said he was extra excited to be on the same card as his favorite fighter, Yoel Romero. As I mentioned at the top, Romero has 2 flying knee knockouts. Karakhanyan was looking to do the same, but now Rogers controlling him on the ground, looking to take advantage of this position.
See, and all of that started from Georgi Karakhanyan being offensive and going for that guillotine, set everything up. That's what got him to the position of being able to land the flying knee.
Final minute of an entertaining second round. As anticipated, we thought this had the earmarks of fight of the night, and well, Rogers and Karakhanyan doing their best to put them in contention.
The other thing to think about, Mauro, you talked about it before, only 10 days notice for Karakhanyan in taking this fight. It's been a high pace, a lot of action.
30 seconds left in the second. Rogers using those punches to try to open up Georgi Karakhanyan so he could slip that left arm underneath his neck, and again, try for, well, what has been a very successful submission thus far in his career, the RNC, but you know Karakhanyan isn't going to make it easy. Oh no, it don't come easy.
Saul, good round. Georgi, good round.
Crowd showing its appreciation from what has been a spirited scrap between Saul Rogers and Georgi Karakhanyan.
Fight!
Big John McCarthy unofficial scorecard going into this important third round.
Right now, I've got this fight even, and look, I know that Rogers had a lot of good work in the second, but he got hurt. He was in trouble for a moment in that fight.
And Karakhanyan looking for the guillotine.
Again, he's got that in tight. You see him why he's wrapping the leg around the back is to create pressure, but he doesn't have enough. He wants to bring that foot up or that knee up to extend and stretch Sal Rogers away from his arms. I don't know if he's got enough left in his arms. He doesn't. After 2 rounds of fighting like that, it is not an easy thing. And then to get that squeeze, just more lactic acid in the arms.
This is where you want to let your opponent see you sweat when he's going for a submission.
This is where you almost make that gurgle sound on purpose to let him try to squeeze hard. Nice knee inside by Saul Rogers.
Saul Rogers again leaving his girlfriend Brogan and his children Xander and Bo at home. I was asked by Rogers to give him a special shout out, let them know that he loves them, and of course earning the family's keep here in the Bellator MMA cage, and now looking to try to finish a man who has been stopped 3 times in his career, but this is his 44th professional fight.
Nice job of Sal sitting him back.
Talking about insane Georgi Karakhanyan trying to reverse position, but that's going to be made even more difficult by Rogers grapevining the left leg of Karakhanyan.
Yeah, he's got that nicely entwined with his leg. That's going to keep Georgi's leg from being able to extend up, get himself to a standing position. It's not that Georgi's getting seriously hurt, but he is absorbing just more and more as far as punishment.
And the crowd here in San Jose, again, spoiled by some of the best fights in MMA history there. They're getting on these 2 guys, but
there's nothing to boo here.
Nothing to boo, baby.
I'm telling you right now, both guys are putting a lot of energy out. Great fight so far. Great performance by Sal Rogers as far as, man, he's only had a small amount of time where he was in trouble against Georgi here. For the most part, he's been dominating a lot of the action.
In the words of my friend Adam Cole, nothing to boo here, baby, as we've got Saul Rogers continuing to try to put it on Georgi Karakhanyan, trying to flatten him out on the canvas. Karakhanyan keeps getting back up to his feet, and man, they are working for every inch here with under 2 minutes left in the fight. Yeah, and an important fight for both of them at this stage of their respective careers.
True. Sal Rogers just bulldogging him around, throwing him around, little movements. He tries to get himself free, and all of a sudden he's finding himself back down on the canvas. It can be a frustrating moment for Georgi. Georgi has no quit in him. He's continuing to go after this. He's working, trying to get himself up. Nice clean shot by Sal Rogers.
Time running out. Karakhanyan has to try to explode somehow out, but again, he's being neutralized, isolated because of what Rogers has on that left leg. The entwining it, keeping him from getting up to a vertical base and turning around and trying to unload everything he has left. Rogers continues to control him on the ground.
It's the size and strength of Sal Rogers. He's able to just create a pressure that is right now Georgi cannot figure his way of how to get out of it, how to get himself back to his feet. It can be very frustrating if you're Georgi, but he hasn't given up, keeps on working hard. Sal Rogers is all over him. Look at that ground control time. 9 minutes and 16 seconds of time that Sal Rogers has been all over Georgi Karakhanyan.
Knee to the rib cage, and now he hooks the right leg of Karakhanyan and just trying to open Karakhanyan up again with strikes. Down to the final 15 seconds of this lightweight contest between insane Georgi Karakhanyan and Saul the Hangman Rogers, and unfortunately the crowd booing the efforts of Rogers and Karakhanyan, and yet I found it to be an entertaining scrap, John, and Saul Rogers taking maybe the most conservative approach to just ensure he hopes that he has gotten the victory in what was a hard-fought fight. And guess what? It is premiere season on Showtime, and this fall's lineup, I gotta tell you, it's a master class, premium. Impressive crowd on hand for a banner night of Bellator MMA action. Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first, Michael Bell, scores it 30-27, while judges Sean Dallas Hall and Jaron Vallell both see it the same, 30-26. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Saul the Hangman Rogers.
Xander and Bo Daddy's coming home with a hard-fought victory. Saul Rogers improves to 15-4, 3-2 in Bellator with a hard-fought victory over the double tough Georgi Karakhanyan. Let's go to Big John McCarthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your winner, Sal Rogers. Sal, that was a very tough fight, a very good performance by both of you. Talk to me about you moving up from 145 to 155 pounds. How did it feel?
You know what, it felt amazing. I've been killing myself too long, trying to cut down to 145, and now I've moved up, I feel stronger and I feel more dominant. I don't know why these guys were booing to be able to control a guy like Georgi. 3 rounds to be so dominant with someone as tough as him. Like, how can you boo that? Do you know what I'm saying?
I can tell you right now, I didn't boo at all. I thought it was an amazing performance by you. You were wrapping up a guy who's an outstanding grappler on the ground. Let's talk about the second round, though. There was the moment he got the guillotine. It was tight. You got yourself out. And then let's talk about the knees, the flying knee that hit.
You know what? I know he's good at guillotines, but there was none of them guillotines was even close. I wasn't in danger, but the knee, woo! It hit maybe one clean. Maybe the second got through, not as clean. And I just tried to stay protective, but you seen in the fight, I had a big smile on my face. I love that shit, you know what I mean?
You did have a big smile. You came out off of that second round, and you came out and dominated the third round. How were you feeling at the end of this fight compared to your other fights when you were losing so much weight?
You know what? I feel miles better. In the other fights, after maybe around 2.5 minutes, my arms were gassing, and I had nothing to carry on then. I've controlled him for 3 rounds, and I still feel good to go. Any of these fighters now that are on the cusp and they're still killing themselves, take it from me. Move up, be healthier, be happier, have a longer career. Much better.
I want to tell you, that was an outstanding performance. You look fantastic. Can't wait to see you at the 155.
Yo, I've been away from my missus and my kids for 3 months. So shout out to Brogan, Bo, Xander. I love you. Daddy's coming home.
Sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sal the Hangman Rogers.